This will be a short day today. So we're going to give you a recap of the show. It's like any other show. We didn't have as many people at the race on Saturday. I mean, we had a lot of people racing. It was a lot of fun. I will admit I had a lot of fun racing. There weren't as many people racing. And the one thing I did notice is that the amount of people that were there on Saturday was more than on Sunday. Or not, no, I won't say that. No, that's not true. What I'm saying is that the amount of people, so this is the amount of people that came in on Sunday, and this is the amount of people that came on Saturday. But before, it was always like this. This is the amount of people that come in, and then this is how many people come on Saturday. Well, now it's like this on Saturday. It's slowly getting more and more people on Saturday. And I don't want to say it's all my fault or it's because of me, but a lot of people said they saw the Me TV commercial, and and that's what, hey, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, but a lot more. The only draw side is that it is a little far. Okay, that's the only thing people were saying, is that it's basically in Alliance, which is really in nowhere land. Okay, and that's the only thing that people said, is that it's literally in nowhere land. And so other than that, it was a good show. Here is what's his name from the show. This is the guy that has the track that's next to ours. And I don't know if I told him I was going to go live today or not. I don't know if I told him or not. Did I say I was going live today? And what were you coming here today for?
For all the empty premises your people get.
I know, probably.
Auto World Pizza Van.
Auto World, yeah. See, I only have one of. Oh, I only have both of them. You wanted both?
The white one. Right? No, just the white one.
The white one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you're buying that?
I thought you said it was just for me being a great guy. Yeah, no, I'll buy it. Yeah.
No, I have to make sure that I know what I'm saying, because sometimes I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, we'll give you a discount on it.
I appreciate that.
You drove just for that?
Just for that? Well, I know. I wanted to see your place.
Oh, okay. So I was just telling him that the amount of people that were on Saturday it's more that were just looking around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Buyers.
For sure.
Now there wasn't as many racers, but
I had a good amount, but yeah.
The race that we did.
Right.
But I thought it was overall it was okay.
Oh, I thought it was great. Yeah.
But the only thing that people are talking about is the location.
Yeah, there's a readjustment period for sure.
The distance.
Right. But between all the social media promotion and everything you're doing, we'll build it back up to what it used to be.
But I mean, did you like the older location? That's the question.
Personally, yes.
Yes,
but
I did too,
right.
Because I could bring my family there,
right?
And they could just go swimming, and you know what it is? It's the ambiance, and just be able to walk around in an indoor building,
right?
And there's, obviously there's not a lot of restaurants, but I mean, you could just walk. There's a pool, so if the women wanted to just hang around by the pool, or just you don't have to go anywhere,
right?
But the kids can run around and not be there.
Exactly. No, yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I agree.
But I
just hate to
understand-
say it because I know why they moved.
No, it's the money.
It's the money. Right.
Oh, it is.
Brian,
Right.
One question.
Huh?
Are there more black trash bags down the shed?
Yeah, why?
We got none here.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. I bought a whole thing of them.
Okay, do you mind if I go grab it too?
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
Go to Daniel. Stop by Daniel's house first. Look inside the van, in between there, and see if I dropped the round Mini Cooper thing.
Okay. Do you know like if it'd be in the front?
No, it'd be in the front there, right in the thing,
Cup holder.
majiggy.
In the cup holder.
Yeah, cup holders thing.
You'll see Daniel looks like he's walking on a fire or something because he's got no shoes and he's walking like this because his feet hurt.
No, that's the way they just wear slippers all the time.
Well, he said he was stopping by your house to get his shoes.
When, this morning?
I literally just saw him driving in.
Oh, really?
Because he's got his branding strategy with his
Oh,
shorts.
my gosh.
I instantly recognized him driving down the street.
Crazy. But I understand that, the amount of money that they saved. But I mean, you still have to look at, is the distance,
Right.
does it outweigh the amount of money that you're saving,
It adds an extra hour onto my trip.
No, I know that.
Right. And I have to stay at the hotel on Sunday night because before it was on the edge of me being, awake enough to drive all the way back. And I don't want to risk it.
Well,
You know,
we drive back to Wayne. We get about 7. We get home about 7 o'clock. We got home 7.
If I'm 7 hours, if by the time I tear down my track,
Where are you at?
Chicago, up by O'Hare Airport.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, you drove all the way to Chicago today?
Well, that's it. I'm going home right now.
Oh,
This
so
is
you
my-
stayed there
I
and you
stayed
cut
there,
back
right?
here.
So I got to stay an extra
Oh, I
night.
didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that you were in Chicago.
Yeah. You can't tell by my accent?
No, you don't. Okay, Chicago does not have an accent. Oh my gosh. Chicago does not have accents. So he thinks he's got an accent. He's the one that has the track set up.
How we doing?
That was a nice track too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, that was a nice track.
Yeah.
It was much bigger than the last one.
Well, a 6-lane, you're so limited what you can do with a 6-lane. There's just so many
yeah, there
combinations
is.
you can make.
Well, and I like the way you did it to where the outside lane, but then on the inside loop, it's on the inside, so it pretty much equals it almost.
Right.
I mean, obviously your inside lane is going to have an advantage, but the way you looped it on the that it almost it seems like it's equal.
And the inside lane is at a huge disadvantage because there are 12 and 15 and 18-inch curves. So
Right.
yeah, so you could get some speed on a 12-inch curve.
Yes, you can.
So and 18s, you just go.
Right.
Yeah.
Because those 9s are going to kill
Those
you.
9s are gonna kill you.
Well,
or do like
then-
Robert did with all the 6s.
Right. Oh, he had 6s
He had
on his.
6s.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's what I tell people is that the old Aurora sets, the Aurora Thunderjets, they all were 6 inches.
Sure.
All those sets were 6 inches.
Yeah.
Because they weren't necessarily speed; it was model motoring. It was with your little steering wheel, setting it. But that's what it was all about.
Right.
And it evolved.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I mean, that's all I had when I started was the steering wheel.
Okay.
See, I didn't get too much into. I started getting into it in the mid 70s, was with the Extraction. But early 69, 70, I was Thunderjet
Okay.
with the steering wheel,
Yeah.
which I thought was cool. Because Thunderjets model motoring was similar to the motorific sets because you would just put the batteries in the cars in, and then you would control the track with all the switches and everything.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was cool.
Yeah. I'm a next generation after you, so I was Magna Traction.
Correct.
With the controls.
Because you're 55, right?
Oh, I love you. Yeah. I'm 55. I'm 45.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm 65.
I'm 59.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Just that's the next.
you graduated
generation.
85.
Yeah.
And that's a completely different generation, 85.
Right.
These are the gen.
Kids.
What are they called? Gen.
No, so I'm a gapper. I came
Oh,
up
that's
with
the
that term.
worst.
So between Boomer and Generation X, there was a gap of
Are
a
you
year.
sure?
Oh, depending on what you look at, but Boomers made it up to 64. Gen X was 66. I'm 65. So I came up with the gapper.
Like,
My little creation. You're not the only creative person on live stream here.
really. But the show was okay. I would give it a 9 out of 10.
For sure.
There was a good amount of crowd there yesterday. I think the weather kind of played against us
A little bit.
because it was a little nicer than if it was kind of, if that rain would have just stayed over.
Right.
We would have been. But I think it's the distance.
It is.
I think a lot of people from Cleveland are just not going to drive down to Alliance.
Right. They're not.
Not for 4 hours.
Right.
On a Sunday. But some did on Saturday. The one guy, Ryan, the big black guy, you know, he could only come down on Saturday, and he had so much fun. It's amazing. And his wife, nice lady. I can't remember her name already. I'm terrible with names. But he'd been watching the live streams.
Right.
So you drove all the way from Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Just a quick 7-hour drive. No big deal.
The east side or the west side?
West of O'Hare Airport.
Oh, that's even worse.
Right.
You got to drive that 280.
Oh, you gotta fight the good old Chicago traffic
Oh,
and construction.
That's the worst traffic.
There he is.
on
I
earth.
thought you were gone. You didn't go to the bank?
I can't find my Mini Cooper keys.
How do you lose your Mini Cooper keys?
I don't know, but I did. And so I told Xavier to look inside the dashboard to find them.
Why was he using it this weekend or what?
No, I thought I might have put them in there accidentally when I was
In the
moving.
van or what?
Do you have the van?
It left right now. It's coming.
Huh?
Yeah, it'll be here in a minute.
Who has it?
Nate has it. Oh, you went back to the van. The septic coming out.
Oh, he's got the deodorant on. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that weird?
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
That's an odd thing to happen, but you know. Then we complain about other people for not wearing Cooper. This is the shop though. What do you think? Is it everything you ever wanted and more?
It is.
You've never been in it. have
No,
you?
never been. No. Right here, your back, the shivs. Who's the artist?
So we had a pretty good show. We've got some, we're waiting on some information that is going to affect the direction that we go forward. I hate to tell you. So we are waiting for a response, and when I get that response, I will be doing some special videos. There are going to be some changes coming, and it's not necessarily my fault. It's just reality, and
What are you talking about?
just what might be changing over the next couple.
We don't know. We haven't heard.
We have. I know. That's why I was telling him we don't know. I just want to know where my Mini Cooper keys are.
Yeah, that's such a weird thing. Did you talk to your wife about it?
Yes, I did.
She hates your Mini Cooper though. She wants to use it. She thinks it's the worst thing in the world. It has to be bad. Oh wait, because you're using the. Are they in the? Did you put them in the camper?
No, I did not put them in the camper.
You don't feel like you put them in the camper.
No, I did not.
Good morning, Xavier. Did you find his keys?
No, I couldn't find the van.
100% his fault. It's 100% Xavier's fault. He loves your Mini Cooper. told him Mom hates this Mini Cooper.
Okay,
So
don't
first
get.
Mom, I don't know how you lose 2 keys though. How do you lose 2 keys? He has 2 of them. Both of them. How do you lose 2 keys? Jim, how do you lose 2 keys? You know what is that on your, you know, the engine for the key fob? No, he just leaves it in his pocket. Oh, I don't know.
I'm just going to just. I'm not going to say anything today, but there is going to be some major changing coming in the next 4 or 5 days. And some people are not going to like it. And that's about all I'm going to say. The show was, I would say, a 9 out of 10. I wanted to do a certain amount of money. We hit that goal. Now, did we do as much as we've done in past shows? No. But we haven't had anything new either. But did I hit what I wanted to do? Yes, I did. And it was a very, I tell you, one thing that happened at the show that kind of just changed my attitude, because on Saturday I was not in the morning. I was not as happy as I wanted to be. Okay. And there's a guy, and I can't think of his last name. I just know his name is Ryan. Okay. And you guys might have seen me talking to him at the show. And he was a big guy. Okay. I mean, he's bigger than me. He was about just a little bit taller than me. And he brought his wife with him, very, very petite. Okay. He's a big guy. She's a very petite like me. Kathy is very small, but he is the one that changed my attitude for the day. Okay. Because I was really kind of depressed on Monday morning. I wasn't feeling the groove, okay? And he came in and he said, I've been watching your live stream. I wanted to let you know, and this was Ryan. Ryan came in and said, I wanted to let you know I had been praying for you and my church. I told my mom to pray for you in the church when you fell. So here's a guy that's been watching the live stream, and he really took personally my falling. And I know a lot of you guys, and I'm not signaling him out alone, but he was the one. I mean, he personally came to me. And so I know all of you have done the same, and you've been very nice to me, and you were praying for, I know you have, but I'm just telling you that on Saturday, I was just not in the greatest of moods, okay, in the morning, okay? And then all of a sudden, he comes, and I had a new perspective. I literally had a new perspective for the day, okay? And I just like, oh my goodness. The love of God is, no, you're right. The love of God is powerful. No, it's right. And he had the, cause he said, when he was young, he was a fighter and all that. And I looked at things differently, and I know he's been very blessed, or we've been very blessed here at the store. Okay. You know, I'm in business to make money, obviously. I'm in business to feed my family. I'm in business to feed Daniel and Ryan and the people that work for me. That's what I'm doing. I'm in business to keep them employed. Okay. Now, a lot of people, they don't want to do that. They just want to feed themselves. Okay. And that's fine. Not everybody can have a small business. Okay. Not everybody can get into business. Okay. I've been doing it all my life. Okay. I've been doing it ever since I was 19. All right. Wanting to make money. Actually, ever since I was mid 70s, 12, 11, I was having carnivals and trying to raise money and make money. I was always doing that, wanting to make money. I would go to Franklin Park Mall in the morning, and on the weekends, and in the summertime as they were building Franklin Park Mall, and I would get a shopping cart, because right across the street from my apartment, across from the parking lot where Franklin Park was Joseph's grocery store. Joseph's brother. It was a family in Toledo that had a grocery store called Joseph's. And I would get a shopping cart, and I would go through the entire mall as it was being built. And I would collect all the pop bottles, and I would put them in the shopping cart. That's how I raised my money. And one day, I've told this story too before. I said one day I was getting bottles, and I was collecting bottles all over Franklin Park Mall. I had a whole shopping cart full of bottles, because all the workers would drink pop all day long, and they would just leave the bottles. They didn't care about the dime or nickel deposit. So I'd go there with my shopping cart, and I was expecting, okay, let's see. I was figuring it out. Okay, I got 20 bottles, 30 bottles, that's $5. 20 bottles would be $5 at a nickel. That's 20 bottles, that's 10. That's $10. I was going to get, this is 1972, $10. Okay, so I could go to McDonald's and get a hamburger, fry, and a Coke for about 75 cents. So $10, that could get me 2 brand new Thunder Jets. But they weren't open yet, okay? Because Franklin Park didn't open until 73. So I go to Joseph's. I go to the grocery store with my cart, and I bring them in, and she counts it up. She counts all about, okay, well, that's 40 bottles. That's $20. I go, what do you mean $20? No, you didn't hear, Brian? I go, what? What are you telling me? Well, the deposit doubled. I go, what? You're kidding me. I'm getting a dime per bottle? Oh my God. I got $20. $20.
Right. This is your signature on this, correct?
Yeah, why?
Okay, because I've got customers saying they want one.
That's it. Number 3. Okay, we just sold number 3 of the signed Pro Tinker toy. The Pro Tinker toy Mayflower. So we just sold the signed Mayflower number 3. So what I have to do is, hold on. Okay, so that was number 3. We just sold number 3. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 04/06. Oh my gosh, I made a blooper. I typed in 0402. No, it's of 6. Oh, shoot. Can I rub that out? Oh, I think I can. Let me see if I can rub this out. Oh, yeah. Okay. Of 06. So 04/06. and my signature. So that is, so if you want a signed edition of the Mayflower, this is 04 of 06. I'm only signing 6 of them because we just sold 03. All right, so anyways, why was I talking about collecting bottles? Oh yeah, I know why I was talking. Because, so we started this business. I didn't need to start this business. But there were several key factors that made me start this business. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you the several key factors on why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Okay. So here are the key factors. The number one factor was I was doing trade shows for Dan, the rubber band man, because we sell his rubber band guns. And I can't show one, but we've been selling Dan rubber band guns. And so I would do trade shows, New York Toy Fair, all the shows. And I would go to the Auto World booth, and I'd always talk to either Craig or Tom Lowell. And we would talk. I would have conversations. Hey, if you ever have any closeouts, let me know. And if you ever want to move some stuff, let me know. And they weren't really moving a lot of product in the hobby. They moved some in the hobby industry, but a lot of hobby stores did not carry their product. Okay, that's all there is to it. I've been to all the hobby stores. Okay, I knew how much product your hobby stores were carrying compared to what a Hobby Lobby is carrying. Okay. All right. There's a difference. Okay. And so one day I got a call from Craig. Hey, Brian, I got about 6 sets that, you want to buy them all. I got a bunch of them. I go, do you want to buy them? I said, sure. How many of them? And it was about $20,000 worth. Okay. I think maybe 500 sets. If I'm not mistaken, it was the super endurance with the golf car and the Corvette, and then the Ghostbusters set, the Back to the Future set, Transamerica set, the off-road set. There were like 5 sets. And I bought a sea container, $2,000, to actually hold those sets. Because I planned on selling them. My plan was to sell those sets over the next 10 years. Just make me $100 here, $100 there. Just make $100 once in a while on eBay. Because nobody had them. I'd be the only one having them. And so when Ryan came to me, so then that was in 2017. So I've had all those sets for 2 years, all right? 17, 18, and 19. And then all of a sudden, I was doing all these trade shows for Dan, selling rubber band guns, I didn't need to do anything. I was retired in a sense. Okay. I want you to understand, I was semi-retired in the sense that I didn't need to do anything. Okay. I didn't need to go anywhere. I didn't need to do anything. There's one thing that I'm very good at. Okay. Which I admit that I'm good at it because I know that I'm good at it. And that's sales. Okay. There's one thing that I'm good at, and that is sales. Okay? So if you know a company that wants a really good salesman, an honest salesman, well, I'm your guy. I don't care what it is. And so I was doing trade shows for Dan, selling rubber band guns. That's all I was doing. Dan would have me do a trade show. I would do a ton of business for him. I think my commissions on some of his shows were or $5,000 for the whole show, I would get a commission, $5,000. I got 10% of whatever. I got 10% of whatever. Did you sell all the sheep? No, I did not, because Ryan, I sold the initial sheep, but Ryan had more sheep. Okay, so I have 5 more sheep. Okay, and so in 2019, I was in Florida with Dan or Bill of IMEX, because he was doing the IAPA show, which is the IAPA is the Amusement Park Association trade show. And I got a call from Craig. He said, "Hey, Bryan, I've got 1,200 of these cars. I've got 1,200 of these." And I told him, he set a price, and I go, "Well, could I get them for this price?" And you got the Mayflower? Oh,
Yeah.
boy. And then we got the van here. One of these vans here.
2.
One of these 2 vans. You want 2 of those? Yeah, we got 2 of those. Okay, we got 2 of these. And then we got
The truck's up top.
trucks up. We got the red one, the flamed one. Not that one. We got the yellow one. The B, the A. You wanted the A. That looks, I don't know why that looks yellow, but it does. So he goes, "Well, how much?" I said, "Well, I can pay you this amount." He says, "Okay." I said, can I have net 60? Can I have net 60 on that? He goes, "Yeah, I'll give you net 60. And that's how it all started. Now, we had opened ProTinkerToys.com in October of 19. And then it just kind of mushroomed. All of a sudden, COVID happened, and it just kind of mushroomed. Okay, it just mushroomed. And I wasn't selling any of this stuff 5 years ago. Or 6 years ago now. I wasn't doing any of this stuff. Well, there's going to be a change, and that change is going to be pretty dynamic. Okay, did you get the 2 parts?
I can get them once I get them.
Okay, all right. That's a very good idea. All right. So we're going to pull this order. So this guy had ordered 5 cars. Number 79. 79. 78, 79. Oh. 80. 78, 79. So he bought the gold and red, gold and red GT40. Gold and red GT40. Golden red GT40 and SC400. He bought both the silver and blue GT40 of SC400. Silver and blue. And he got 408, the black Impala. Man, that's a beauty. The black Impala. He got the silver and blue GT40 of SC400. And then the last one is the Thunderbolt of 408. That's a beautiful car, that Thunderbolt. I don't know why people don't like the Thunderbolt. You know what's funny about the Thunderbolt? The Thunderbolt was not a popular car, but it was a popular race car. Because that was not a popular Ford car, the Thunderbolt. Ford Thunderbolt. Why would you call a car a Thunderbolt? What the heck was all that about? Anyway, so that's those cars. So that guy ordered 6 cars. We sold a lot of guns this weekend. Sold a lot of guns. A lot of guns. Guns. Dan, where are you? Are you still here? So, so that's how we all got started, okay? And we are in a perfunctory time right now. Perfunctory time, okay? But there are some things that I am going to do a monologue. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, or it might be Wednesday. But when I do this monologue, this is going to be a monologue that either it's going to be, well, first of all, it's going to be 100% authentic. Number one. Number two, it's going to be, so on Monday, or on Saturday, in the morning, I was upset because I heard some things on Friday when we got to the show that were disturbing, and I was upset Friday night. And then Saturday, I was getting more upset. I was fuming. Because we went to dinner on Friday night, and I was talking to all the guys, Ryan or Daniel, Mac Henry, Zach, and I was mad. I was fuming. Okay, my blood pressure was like way up here, and and then Ryan came in. Ryan, the customer, big guy, big African American. I don't know, African American, black. I don't know what they want to say nowadays. If it's one thing, you're offending. If it's not, you're offending. Maybe I shouldn't even say anything. Just a big guy, black, or not black, but he changed my attitude. Okay, so his presence there kind of changed my attitude. Okay, because I kind of looked at him and said, this show that I do, okay, is not necessarily always about slot cars, but it is about the interaction that I am having with the customer. People like to hear me talk for some reason. I don't know. And so it gave me a different perspective. And so my attitude the rest of the day was different on Saturday. I wasn't in the mood to do the races, but when I started doing the races, I had a lot of fun. I was doing commenting, and I love to comment during the races, and it was a completely different day on Saturday. And then Sunday was a good day. It started off to be a good day. It was kind of off. I had a guy there with me helping me that has been under a lot of pressure lately, and he wasn't always he wasn't 100%, and he brought somebody with him that was absolutely great. I was amazed how nice or how obedient he was. Okay, I was just amazed. Okay, because he wasn't nagging. He didn't complain about anything. He was racing the whole time. He literally raced all day Saturday and all day Sunday. Just raced all day. And it was just amazing. Okay. And he was kind of depressing. Okay. Because normally he's the one that's, oh yeah, baby. And I was like, what the heck happened to you? Why are you, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, what happened there? Blah, blah, blah. And but the rest of the day, Sunday, later in the Sunday, got good then. And so Sunday ended up turning out to be a good day. We had a good night. We stopped at BW's on the way home. You know what? I watched a really good movie last night. It's called the Bullet Train Disaster. It's a Japanese movie. There's only one country that knows how to make movies nowadays. Oh, no, there's one country in the world that doesn't know how to make movies, and that's America. And we're the ones that invented the movies or, industrialized movies. And we're the only country that doesn't know how to make movies, okay? And I watched this. It's called Bullet Train Disaster, I think. It's a Japanese movie. It's funny about Japanese movies is their intensity and they bow, so if they do something wrong, they're bowing, they greet you in the morning, they bow. I mean, they take that just to the, and the prime minister had really screwed up and he didn't just go like this. He went all the way down. I don't know what that means, but it was a really good movie last night when I got home last night. And, so I got home last night around, I think 6, we got home around 6:00 and I grabbed both the babies, okay? Because Jesse was there and I grabbed both the babies. I sit in the chair and the babies fall asleep on my lap and I fall asleep, I think for an hour, okay? And I got both the babies on my shoulders, one here and one here. And I'm thinking, that's it. That's all that makes it. We make remakes 1 through 10. I'm telling you. I've been listening to these sci-fi stories. I don't know if I'm a sci-fi guy. Okay, I love sci-fi, and I've been listening to these sci-fi stories. Okay, and I'm telling you, if I knew a producer and a screenwriter, I've been listening to some of these stories. Now, there's not all of them are good, but I tell you, there's some that are really good that would make a great, just a short story, 1-hour program, and a TV series. You could run it every week and have a show every week for the next 100 years, because some of these stories are really great about, the aliens always misunderstand humans. And they always lose. But anyway, so the show was 9 out of 10. I still am not 100%. Yeah, that's the Thunderbolts. These things were like, these cars right here, these Ford Thunderbolts, they're almost like, somebody told me that the Thunderbolts, I think it was in a movie or in a thing about the Thunder, yeah, exactly. You could name the show The Twilight Zone. No, I wouldn't call it The Twilight Zone. I'd just call it Sci-Fi, Sci-Fi Wednesday or, Sci-Fi Short Stories or something, sci-fi. But some of these stories are absolutely amazing, My favorite one is the Snaps, okay? Where the ambassador, I don't know if you've read that story, the snap, they don't want to hear, aliens don't want to hear about the snap. You don't want Earth to be snapping. What's the name? Hold on a second. There's 2 versions of it on there on the online. You don't want Earth to snap their finger. You don't want Earth to snap their fingers. Sci-fi stories, Earth snaps their finger. Yeah, the most, and this is done by Argo Squirrel.
Galaxy. There is an author note that this is a rather dark story, and it's written by DWL-52-2. Snap. That one single cell had become the galaxy's most. A wall of monitors. I do have to say, some of your security is so bad a human child could hack into your most.
So, anyways, the premise of the story is that this one alien race they kept destroying human settlements, and they kept apologizing and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that was a mistake." Okay, oh, that was a mistake. And well, the humans or Earth finally said, "Okay, well, we're not done with it." And they go to the council. Well, they've got all this stealth technology, and all the general standing there, and he just says, he goes, "Oh, we're sorry," and he snaps his finger, and this one civilization is just completely destroyed. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he snaps his finger again, and another civilization is destroyed. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he does it again, because the others, the civilization that was destroying human, they kept saying, "I'm sorry," and they do it again. And it's probably one of the funniest stories I've lived. And that would be a great sci-fi short story. I mean, a 1 minute, a 1 hour, you could do it in 1 hour. That's how good it is. Okay. So anyways, the Thunderbolt, I'm going off onto different tangents, which I shouldn't, but that's the way I am. I'm kind of semi-retired. I'm tired today. I'm not really tired. I am tired, actually. So, the show was a good show. It was a, my camper, everything went well with my camper. I was able to, everything worked on it. I'm so happy for my camper. But there's going to be some changes coming on. Okay. And I don't want to tell you that it's not going to be dramatic, because it is going to be dramatic. It's going to be very dramatic. And I want everybody to be prepared for what's going to be coming. And I'm just being cryptic right now. But we will know here in the next couple days what direction that we are going to go. And I've talked to several other people, and I'm going to have one more conversation tonight with somebody. And yes, heads are going to roll. Well, frankly, yes, they should roll. And I am, when I do my monologue, okay, I'm going to try to be as the mob. Yes, the mob is involved. Okay, I'm going to try to be as polite as I can. But I am not going to pull any punches. I'm gonna basically speak the way it weighs. Okay, so here's what happened is when I was with Irwin Toy, No, it wasn't. No, it was when I flew in 2012. I flew to Spain and talked to Aduca because they were going to hire me to sell Scalect or SCX in the U.S. I was going to be their salesman because they didn't have anybody but they still wanted to sell in the U.S. And this was in 2012. This is almost the beginning of the fall of Great Plains too. And so I flew to Spain in 2012. I think it was May 2012. And I sit down with Francisca, and I sit down with a bunch of other people, and I sit down with them, and I go, I'm going to tell you things that you don't want to hear, because that's what I do. Okay, I tell people what they don't want to hear. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear and feel all good and everything. I basically told them what they don't want to hear about SCX and how and these things. And I got the job at the same salary I was before. I like, give me a break. Really, Brian, you can't make this stuff up. But I was selling product, okay? We were selling a ton of product in the U.S., okay? And that's all you had to know. That's all you had to write, okay? And And so I'm going to tell you the truth, okay, from my perspective, and you should speak the facts, and then they have to prove it so, but till then, it still holds true to the facts. Store in Australia will be selling SCX Advanced soon. Yeah, that's good.
Man, you see?
I didn't think you were coming in today.
Man, you're going to be trapped in there. There's no escape. See?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to do something to him. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Watch this, guys.
No, he's going to fight. Man, not funny. Get away from me. You're gonna have to wipe yourself. You see, you're gonna have to, change your underwear.
The only thing I was disappointed about this weekend was Mac Henry. He said, "Oh, I want to go there selling," but he was on his phone the whole time.
No, I sold.
He was
more than the likes of you could ever imagine.
He was okay. Mac was. He could have done a little bit more, but I'll give him credit. He did help get everything put away, and the one thing that I will admit, and I'm going to do this in front of him because I want him to understand that when I do something, he needs to listen to me sometimes. Because I told him exactly how to merchandise the exclusives, and he did not. He did it. He looked at that and said, "Well, I'm going to do it this way," and it was completely wrong.
All he did was he took these and he said, make a staircase of these. But we also had these there, right? So what he's complaining about is I put this, made a staircase, and then the other one and made a staircase.
See, he knows he did wrong, but I'm gonna forgive him, okay? Because I'm in a good mood today. All right. I'm in a good mood today. Plus, I think Mac Henry was off this weekend because I don't think his dad's feeling well. And so I think he was thinking about his dad a lot this weekend. And because his mom was gone, so his dad was all by himself. And that's awful nice, that you think a lot about your dad. But anyway, so... we are going to do this this week. It's going to happen someday this week. I don't know exactly what day it's actually going to happen, but I have a feeling that I'm going to actually, I think the first time in my life, I'm actually going to write down my monologue on an AI. I'm going to write down kind of what I want to say, and then have the AI kind of make it more interesting, maybe. Or do you just want me to go off the cuff? There's one thing that I know, okay? Now, a lot of people will tell me that you are full of it, Bryan. And that could be true. I could be full of it. Yes, I totally could be. Okay. And here's why I'm not. Okay. Here's why I'm not full of it. Okay. Is that well, there's several reasons why I'm not full of it. Now, the main reason is that I don't know. Okay, so here's the situation. I have to go do something real quick. Okay, so if anybody could guess, let's see if you guys figured it out. Right on. If he pees anything like he'll be gone a while. Hey Mike, I agree. Mac is the man. Yeah, right. Did Bryan say anything? The Cleveland show being okay, or just so of sales? Call of the Wild, good old Mother Nature. Right on. Okay, so the Cleveland show was all right. So here's the problem with the Cleveland show. Let me just tell you flat out, okay? And I understand it, and this is the thing that we have to decide whether we're going to do or what we're going to do in the future, okay? The Cleveland show used to be in the hotel, and the hotel was an indoor hotel with an indoor pool, indoor entertainment center for kids, a bungee jumpy thing, It had indoor, you could walk around in the winter and be nice, the indoor pool and all the indoor amenities. Okay, so you could do the show and people would mingle around and sit outside and sit in the hallway or go to the room and then come back. Obviously, it was more expensive. Okay, it was more expensive. You had to pay for tables because they didn't have tables there, which they should have. The hotel should have tables, and that should be a part of your price. Okay, so then he gets this other price from this other place, which is south, okay? And it's cheaper. I get it. It's a price thing. Swim through it. No, I never went swimming. I never went swimming. We could bring our families, and our families could go and just mingle around all day long at the pool or with the kids and just hang around in the room and they would have fun too, or they'd come down and see us, what we're doing. Well, now you can't do that because if you're going to have all those families they won't stay in the room or in the showroom or in the convention. There's not enough room for that. And so you just have a show that's on Saturday and Sunday, but there's no other rooms for everybody. Okay. Now I like the fact that I can camp, but I would stay in a hotel room too. So it's the old-fashioned hanging out. Yes, that's what it is. You hit it right on the head. I think the new spot was it is. The old spot was an old roller skate rink. Yes, exactly. That's what it was, an old roller skate rink from the 1960s, okay? And the 70s, because I was roller skating all the way to 1985, okay? So, and roller skating is still popular in certain areas. I think that would be popular nowadays with the internet, roller skate. I think it would be huge popular nowadays, roller skating. That was a great thing to do. Just go roller skating. You know what I'm saying? Just go roller skating. Roller, 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 rolling, 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 rolling. And so like I said, I give it 9 out of 10. Okay? Because the 1% is I would rather have it at the other location. Okay? And they normally, nobody was really setting up unless the people that were setting up on Sunday. Because they never set, the room was never available for Saturday. Okay? And now we were talking about doing a show in August in Findlay called the ProTinker 500 slot car show. Yes. It is out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, this place is literally in nowhere land. It's amazing. Why would they build a roller skate rink in the middle of nowhere land? Whoever thought of that, it was a good idea. I mean, it's 10 miles from Alliance. I'm thinking, what are you thinking? Well, you must have had some money you just wanted to waste in the 70s or the 60s. It was probably built in the 60s. Late 60s, maybe. So anyway, the show was a 9 out of 10. There were a lot of people there. A lot of people were buying. A lot of people were trading. Sunday was a typical Sunday, about 12 o'clock. One person left, and then by 1 o'clock, people were starting to pack up. By 2 o'clock, we had kind of packed. We're getting to pack up, and we left by 3. You know, so it was. It's one of those things. Now it was the show was conflicted because it was going on the same time as the New Jersey show. And then what's his name said something about the New Jersey show. What did he say about the New Jersey show? Let me see here. You're welcome, and you know I'll tell her. Thanks. Brian, I'm not seeing the guy with the tubs anywhere this year, and Adam and I figured out who he was, and I don't see him at the moment. So I found the guy, no containers this year. Show wasn't the same without you for sure. Hope you did better there. This wasn't as busy as usual, I thought. Well, I'm sure it wasn't as busy. I mean, I'm sure it was, but I'm sure it wasn't. I mean, you have a lot of dealers that were there. You have a lot of people that were at the Cleveland show. And okay, so this is Wood County Online. This is I use this for my train lot. Can it be used for crafts or anything required? Good sturdy length. See more. How much do you want for it? Brian Young with ProTinkerToys.com, Wayne, Ohio. ProTinkerToys. This guy's got he built a 4x4 table for his train layout. I use this for my train layout. Can be used for crafts or anything. It requires a good sturdy table. Legs are removable and ready to travel. Oh, 70 Oregon, Ohio, $75. Yeah, this is Brian Young with ProTinkerToys.com. Yeah, load it into your truck and bring it down to me. Thanks. That's a nice tower. He wants $75 for that table.
I don't like your jerk off name. I don't like your jerk off name. I don't like your jerk off face. I don't like your jerk off behavior. And I don't like you, jerk off. Do I make myself clear?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Ow! I don't like your jerk off name.
Oh my gosh. So, we didn't get any club cars for race or for auctions. I'm going to be having a special live stream tomorrow talking about the show. So a lot of things are going to be happening this week. And some people are not going to be happy, and some people are. That's all I'm going to tell you. And we've got Pizza and Pop here, Pizza and Pop. My local family-owned hobby store closed up a few years back, and they had a tub of track racing and 60s. They also sold and repaired lawnmowers. A lot of stores were like that. It seems slots are more popular either in the coldest months or desert Southwest. Yes. Well, slot cars are most popular between September and February or April. Okay. But they're very popular in the, like you said, the Midwest in the summertime. Okay. Because of the heat. All right. You can go inside and just, do slot cars inside. So it all depends on where you want to do it and how you want to do it and who you want to do it with and who you want to be with, okay? And so it's a lot of 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. And then if you have 5 times, 6 times, 7 times more, you have 8 times, 9 times, 11 more, and 11 door. I'm up in Michigan. Winters up here are brutal. Well, they're not super brutal, okay? They're just winter. That's the way. Here's the thing about winter. I wish people would get a grip on, this global warming garbage and all this. And, people don't realize this. And when I tell them this, okay, then all of a sudden they start to think, they go, oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, you are right. So, what would you rather be? Would you rather be in a cold climate all the time, or maybe a cold and winter climate? Okay. What would you rather be? Would you rather be in just a freezing cold climate 24/7, 365 days of the year, or would you rather have 4 seasons? Well, let me explain something to you that people don't really realize. That in the early, and so let's just say, for giggles, let's say that we didn't have all this modern technology nowadays. Let's say we're still in like the mid 1800s today. Let's say we didn't have, all this science fiction stuff, and we didn't have the car and the electricity. We're still in the 1800s. Let's say it's 2025 and we still use horse buggies and there's no electricity and we're just running around like this. Where do you think New York would get all their ice from for winter? Because right now, in the 1800s and all the way to the mid 1900s or 1920, 30, the Hudson River would freeze, and they would take that ice and they would chop it into blocks and put it under the Hudson River. Okay, into mines for ice all during the summer. Okay, now another thing you might not realize either, that the movie or the short story or the story of the Christmas Carol, that takes place in England in the 1700s. Okay, and it takes place in the winter, and there's lots of snow in London. In the movie, there's lots of, and all the stories, because it was snowing. The Thames River would freeze every winter. Does anybody know when the last time the Thames River froze in the winter? It doesn't. So what do you think? Would you rather be in a warmer climate or a colder climate? Okay. Well, that's global warming, Brian. It's proving. No, it's called the sun cycles. And there's a guy that's been doing a thing on the YouTube called Adapt 2030. And he's been talking about this for the last 8-10 years, okay? That the sun goes in cycles. And in the 1800s and the 1700s, that Earth was a lot cooler, okay? And the winters were brutaler. And it all started the fall of Rome really started when the Earth was starting to cool down, and they lost a lot of their crops. The peak of the Roman Empire is when Earth was the hottest. Now, I don't remember that Rome had any, industrial factories. Okay, I love the Sun Belt. No, and I love, you know what's really nice about the summer? You can always keep taking something off. But in winter, it's always cold. Especially if you're outside. But if it's hot, just go sit down and have a nice glass of lemonade. Relax. Okay, we have snow 6 months out of the year. Well, let's see. Thames last froze in the winter of 62 and 63. That proves my point. Do you realize that the Thames River used to freeze all the time in the 16 and 1700s? Froze all the time. And so did the Hudson River. Yeah, that's a good one, UNM. Find out when the last time the Hudson River froze. Where I used to live, we would get feet of snow. Oh, I mean, you get feet of snow in Buffalo because of lake effect. You still get lake effect. There's certain parts of the country where, it just doesn't fall as much as it did. But I'll tell you this, in the 70s, I'll tell you this right now, in the 70s, it was, the Time Magazine, I remember 1971 or 72 Time Magazine, Earth is going to freeze. We are going into a global freezing. Ice Age. We're going to die. Matter of fact, there were so many movies that came out, sci-fi. Matter of fact, Paul Newman was in one I think it was called Othello or something. But the Earth is frozen. Okay, all these sci-fis that the Earth is going to freeze. We're gonna, we're gonna be freezing to death now. Oh no, boy, gosh. Well, I tell you, I would, and that's why even in the Twilight Zone, the episode where they're freezing. Okay, and then she wakes up and the Earth is actually going closer to the sun. They're actually roasting to death. The paint is actually melting. It's the last time the Hudson Rose Frizzer in 1821. 1821. I'm telling you guys. We live in a very unique time of history that the cycle has changed. It's the same cycle. This is what's funny. So I'm not going to bring religion into this too much, but I'm just telling you, the same cycle that was in the biblical time with Christ is the same cycle that we're in right now. Very warm climate.
Biblical times.
Very warm.
Jesus was a meteorologist.
Why I deal with him, I never know. The movie, what's that movie with Kevin Costner, which was totally fictional. You could not have a mile of water to go, or how far he went to dive down into Denver, okay, because that's already a mile high. There's not enough water if all the water would flood, okay, or if all the water would melt in both North and South Antarctica, or North Pole and South Pole, it's not enough water to cover the entire planet, okay? Number one, I could go into detail on how the flood happened because the Earth, there were two types of crust. You had all this water that was under, anyways, Waterworld, terrible movie. Terrible. And then they go to this island that's, way up in the, just totally fictional, overdone. Now, if you wanted to have certain parts that were flooded, like for example, if it flooded matter of fact, they've got a picture online of what the United States would look like, or what the world would look like if both the North and South Pole would totally melt. They have a picture. And you still have, you have the Grand Sierras are still there, and so the Midwest, you would have like the Smoky Mountains are still there. Yes, Derek, how can I help you? Yes, Derek's wife, that is probably nicer than him. Yes, Mrs. Parson. Well, what I'm saying is that they were already like closeouts. They were just, you know, I don't guarantee anybody, so if anybody buys these at the price I'm selling, I don't know what you got them for, like $8 or something. How much did you pay for it? What I'm Right. So, I don't necessarily guarantee them, okay, because I can't, because I'm not making any money on them, because I'm basically selling them as is. But I'm willing to give you some extra ones at a lower price if you wanted. Oh, oh. What do they take them apart and put them back together, and then take them apart and put them back together? Oh, you haven't even. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Don't worry I'll just send you out a car tomorrow. Okay. We'll just do that. I'll send you one car out tomorrow. Yep. That's fine. $5. All right, I'll get them out tomorrow, okay? Yep, bye. Oh my gosh, Derek, what am I going to do with him? All right, so there are going to be some internal changes that are going to happen here on the live stream. A lot of things are going to change over the next 3 weeks. Can't go into detail right now. Let's see, Snuggles fans in U.S. globally happy Monday. And so a lot of things are going to change over the next couple of weeks. And hopefully I have my monologue either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm not going to do the monologue that I wanted to do. My sons want me to do a different kind of monologue. So I'm going to listen to my sons this time. And I will then have a different monologue, okay? I have to find my cars. Theodore Baker, let's see. You should do a show up here in Ann Arbor with Professor Motor. No, you're probably right. I should. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Well, he did have a show, and I couldn't attend it. I probably should do one with him. That's for sure. And you know what's funny is how many toy guns we sell. And I'm thinking to me, how many toy guns could we sell? And I'm thinking to myself, there are 320 million Americans. I've only sold maybe 4,000 guns. How many could I sell? Oh, I don't know. Maybe unlimited? I mean, give me a break. So, there is going to be some fun things happening over the next couple days. And some people aren't going to be happy. Some people are going to be happy. But overall, it's going to be the best we can do.
What is he looking for?
And where did he go?
I gave him the full tour.
Oh, I got the floor tour.
Oh, I'm gonna
wife,
say you've been
I-
gone a whole hour.
Oh God, we
He's
met
a-
your wife. We did everything.
He says we should give up on the house and move on.
Don't listen to him. He's like you. He talks a lot of shit.
Yeah. But yeah, this is Pro Tinkers.
Oh, gotcha. Let's see if I can do it.
You haven't even made it all the way around this place.
Oh, we couldn't make it past the live feed. Your dad turned the camera on and wanted me to be a superstar.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
What
Was
if-
that key in the?
Oh, I haven't seen the key anywhere. We'll find it though. You don't worry.
Okay, guys.
We'll find it. You need me to verify some orders?
So
Yes.
how did it go with the Tyson? Thank you for speaking. For listening to this morning. Thank you for listening to me this morning. I'm just trying to help you out. You're a good kid, Tyson, and I want you to be a good kid. You're just getting started, and I'm trying to mold you the right way. You know, it's really help, you know, it's helping one person at a time. You know, you can, this is just something that maybe you guys don't want to hear, but I don't care. You can obtain all the fame you want. You can obtain all the wealth you want. You can obtain all the things you want. You can have a 10,000 square foot house. You can have 5 cars and 4 boats and everything that you've ever wanted. Okay. But you know what? None of that can go with you. None of that can go with you. It's like I said, yeah, it's like I got back yesterday. Got back, came into the house. Jesse was there. Kathy had a baby, and one of the babies was crawling. I grabbed one. Jesse said, they need a nap. I said, okay. So I grabbed one. I grabbed the other. I took both the babies, and I sat down in the chair, and they fell asleep with me. Speak up. I can't hear you. None of it matters. And none of it matters, okay? None of it matters. Okay, so Rod Rodriguez would give everything he owns, okay, to have one more kiss with his wife. He would give everything up for one more kiss with his wife. Just one more kiss. Just one more time on a couch, just hugging and just smelling her hair. He'd give it all up. I couldn't put a price on sitting with my grandkids yesterday in a chair. There's no price you can put on that. There's no price you can put on it. Are these fun? Yeah, they're fun. Oh, we're excited. You know, oh man, I want to get one of these. Oh, get me one of these right here. I want one right now. Like, what did I see recently that I wanted to buy? I said, oh, I want one of those. And did I buy it? I don't think I did. and we're here to help. You know, Tyson, and if there's one kid you can pray for, and that's Tyson. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't believe in the little devil and the little angel, but I'm telling you one thing. There is evil, and you can believe that or not. But there are forces that would love to just tear Tyson down. Just tear him down and make him feel he's useless and pathetic and he can't do anything. All right. And there's other people like me and Ryan that Tyson's got great potential. It's like Mark, my son, Mark. He's doing great at BW's, Buffalo Wild Wings. And I told him, I said, you know, as long as you live with us, I'd like you to be coming to church. I go, you know, that's the kind of requirement. Now, if you move on your own, that's your business. Then you're going to have to decide how you want to manage that. You know, you can hold the horse to the water, but you just can't. No, exactly. You can't make him drink it. You hold on a second.
Well, I definitely want to like maybe come out for a weekend or something, or come out on Thursday and hang out for a couple days and do spray some or whatever. So I'm trying to buy me out a few times. Oh, there it is.
Well, I think I know they want to do a show or something.
Where's
There in Finland. Where's the end?
Huh? Why
Can you bring down the trailer?
the camper? Where do you want me to put it?
Right in front of you.
Yep, I'll do that right now.
I'm too old of a joke.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you're old enough. You'd appreciate
Did you pay
that.
for those already?
Oh no, he gave me for free. Just for
Oh, did he?
being me.
I like that. That's good.
I paid. I'm good.
I hope so.
Awesome.
I hope you had
Thank you.
fun.
Oh,
I mean,
it was
you were
great.
here a whole hour. I
the
mean,
tour,
did
guys, it was great.
did you see these babies?
I saw
Oh,
your
did he
wife.
show
I got-
everything?
I got-
Oh, my
I got
gosh.
your wife. I've been in
He
your
was-
house.
Well, you know, I got home yesterday about 6. We drove in, and I walk in the house. Jesse was there, and the babies, they were crying and everything, running around. And I just grabbed one of the babies. I grabbed the other babies. I sat down in my chair and just put them there, went to sleep.
Nice. Perfect.
That was a great end of the week,
Oh,
right?
perfect. Perfect way. All right,
Well,
buddy.
I appreciate it. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
Thanks.
Now, if we have a show, we might think about doing our own slot car show.
Yeah, you were saying that.
All
You were
right,
saying
so
that.
in August maybe.
Oh,
Would you be
August,
interested
okay.
in doing it?
Of course.
Okay, because we're
course.
gonna do the same thing. It'd be Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
It's gonna be at the Finley Inn. It's called
Okay.
the Finley Inn. There's 5 different rooms, which they'll be the dealer rooms.
Okay.
And then the atrium will be where we will be, and all the tracks will be
Okay.
set up. People will set up tracks.
100%.
All right. Okay.
I
Sweet.
love it.
All right.
Any slot car event I'm in.
All righty. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. I'm going to sign off early. I gotta go get the camper and bring it up here, because we got to empty it, and so I've got to sign off early. Okay. Plus, I got to go to the bank. All right. So we will see you later, guys. Thank you very much for watching the live stream, and come to the live stream. I think there's a 4x4 one coming out tonight or tomorrow too. I might do a 4x4 tonight. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.